All right, welcome everybody to episode number 217 of our Your Next Level Mastermind. And our topic for today is, I've got to read this to make sure I remember. What's working well for you on social media? Okay, in other words, what's getting you results? But before we do that, very quickly, for those who are watching the recording, please, I'd like you to make sure that these people who give up their time, their expertise, and their experience to share with you what they do and what their thoughts are on various things that are important to you and your potential online, please make sure you reach out to them. Their links will be on the YouTube replay underneath the video on YouTube. Book a time with them. Go and talk to Chris. Go and talk to Annika and Tony. Go and talk to Christine and Tina. Go and talk to Annika. And more important than anything else, make sure you book a time with them to find out how they can possibly support you in any way they can. They come from different parts of the world. They have a range of different experiences, but they are good at what they do. And I will back my reputation on them for doing that. So without any further ado, let's hear from them in a way that you can then start to get an idea of how darn good these people are. Because, I mean, I just love them to death. And I want to thank them very much for giving up their time to do what they do. So let's start with you, Dr. Chris, followed by our other doctor, Dr. Annika. So Chris, over to you.
Is there a doctor in the house? Thank you, Peter. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Chris Willems from ArtsMedia Consultants. I help business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and other professionals who loathe presenting get to love it and not feel like they come across as complete dicks on video and Zoom. My aim is to get 50 executives in 50 weeks comfortable, confident, and credible on screen, on stage, and online. Why is that? Because 85% of all online communication these days is via video. So video is becoming increasingly important in our business communication.
Thank you, Chris. Well done. Annika, over to you, followed by Tony.
Thank you. Dr. Annika Sorensen from Sweden here. Ever feel like everyone expects you to have it all together, but inside you're stretched thin so it hurts? You're not alone. I worked with senior leaders who quietly carry the weight of the entire organization while silently struggling with stress, self-doubt, and exhaustion. As a former family doctor, I know the early signs of burnout, long before it gets dangerous. And that's why I now help C-suite executives find calm in the chaos. Through private mentoring, workshops, and soon a digital course, I help leaders like you reset so you can think clearly, lead powerfully, and feel like yourself again. And if your mind is always racing, but your energy is running low, let's talk. One call could change everything. And finally, give you the breathing room that you've been craving for so long. Dr. Annika from Sweden. Thank you.
Wow, Annika. Body language says it all. Fantastic. Well done indeed. Tony B, you're a passionate man as well. You followed by Christine.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. If you weren't here, I would not be able to be sharing my message and helping other people. So I appreciate each and every one of you this morning for being here. I battle with addiction, a lot of stress in my life, brokenness, a lot of guilt. I built businesses. I raised a healthy, very loving family. And most importantly, I spent years running from myself while all that was taking place. And I was absent, very, very absent in my own life. But when I finally faced what was going on the inside, then I could start to heal everything, including what was happening on the outside. So my new mission in life is to help people heal on the inside so they could live free on the outside and carry message of hope, health, and wealth, and build their relationships in all areas of their life. That's what I do. Hope you look me up someday.
Look you up as soon as possible. And you do it with a passion and you do it with conviction. That's why I love you. Well done, Tony. Well done. Christine, followed by Anita.
Thank you, Peter, and good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's great to be here. And like Tony said, it's great to be able to share our message on this platform. So thank you, Peter, for providing it. So I'm Christine Best. I'm a wellness strategist, and I empower leaders and teams through wellness in totality. And I do that through my Liberate system, a blueprint to wellness. And I provide that through seminars, presentations, and consulting, one-on-one coaching or group coaching. And it helps you to reduce absenteeism, reduce presenteeism, increase productivity, improve and enhance morale and workplace culture. Now that gives you a better return on your investment in your people. Now, I've had over, a lot of years, more than I want to say. But then again, I'm 71. I've lived life. I've had many jobs. So I've seen organisations from private, semi-government, government, corporate, business. I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of things done wrong, and I've seen a lot of things done right. So there are things that stress your people out that are not just from health, but what happens in your organisation, how it's run, procedures and policies can actually affect those people too. And I can help with that as well to streamline your business and make your business well so you can leverage it. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Leveraging your wellness to improve your business. Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Well, it flows onto your customers as well.
Yes, indeed, it does.
You think about that.
Thank you. Anita, followed by Tina.
Hello, I'm Anita Biggins, and I am a social media manager. And I'm currently getting ready to start a new position with CT. I think it's CTC Construction, and we're a nonprofit organization. And the owner recently bought like a bus, a brand new bus, a comfortable bus, so that he could take the grandparents and the children on trips. So I've been looking into a lot of nonprofit, trips for kids, and there's quite a lot out there, as well as like Frontier Airlines would give nonprofits like free airline tickets, and there's a lot of different travel agencies, and it's going to be a neat adventure.
Sounds good, Anita. Sounds good. Well done indeed. CTC Construction, is that it?
Yes, I believe it is. Have to look it up again, but I know we have one that called Grandparents' Hands, because we're not just building houses. We're going to go in and restore the neighbor. We're going to start with the schools, and have grandparents in there working with the kids, alongside the teacher, not disrupting the class or anything like that, but just make sure. Like my daughter, she had math, and she's got schizophrenia, but anyways, she told me, Mom, the teacher's teaching stuff in there that I don't understand. And I'm like, okay, call your grandpa Poncer, he's an engineer. And then he's like, I don't understand this work that she's doing. So it would really help if somebody else was in that classroom with her, so that they can. But she's got like a 97% in the class. She's really smart, but it just always helps, with, mental health and, being the breakdown of the families. And, if we can have, senior citizens helping, and then they will feel less lonely and maybe have a purpose, to get up. And the CEO is is collecting funds so he could pay the seniors to be in the classroom as well, because he wants people that are really dedicated and want to be there.
You know, you may find, Anita, that you don't have to pay the grandparents at all. They just love to do it.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyway, what a fantastic thing. Thank you for sharing. That is really good.
Right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Tina, over to you, followed by John.
Thank you. So I help all of those men and women that are dealing with the overwhelm and the massive stress that they go through. We all understand that divorce is a very difficult thing. It causes lots of problems in decision making, and a lot of times they can't work together as co-parents. I'm a certified divorce coach. I'm a certified conflictual co-parenting coach, and I'm also certified in transition and recovery, as well as a restorative family mediator. What I do is I help plan this divorce from the thinking about it through the healing about it. I help them go through their process of dealing with their divorce, helping them work with their attorney, communicate with their soon-to-be ex if that's possible, keeping all of the emotion out of everything. What this does is it speeds up the divorce process and reduces the amount of cost that's involved. I'm also here today in representation of Local Business Rising. Local Business Rising is a new business platform that is designed for small businesses, and the creator of it is made this platform for you, not for him. He's not making money on it. He's actually pulling in enough money and he's sending it back to the individuals and to the city leaders and to the city groups to support them. It is a networking and marketing platform. And if you want to learn more about it, you can take a picture of the QR code and it'll tell you a little bit more about it. And my name is Tina Huggins. I'm your divorce coach and planning specialist. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. And by the way, I left you a little bit of my past on one of your posts today. Okay. I don't know whether you saw it yet.
I saw it, but I haven't had a chance to go through it. I saw it just as I sat down this morning.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth. So you might as well say it as it is anyway. Okay. John D. Allen.
You've left a few bits of yourself on different people's posts, Peter.
I know, but I always get into trouble anyway.
No, you don't.
Anyway, enough. John, enough about me. John, over to you. Hello, Jeff. Good to talk to you in a minute. John, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you're from in this big wide world. I'm John D. Allen, Allen's Small Business Coaching. Fall in love with your prospect's problem, not your solution or program, because let's face it, honestly, they don't give a damn about your solution or program. What they want to know is, can you solve my problem? I teach trust-based selling and marketing. And what I mean by that is, if your sales aren't where they're supposed to be, your marketing's not working, a lot of it is the message you're putting out. If your prospects don't trust you, they're never going to deal with you. One thing I say is I'm here to help you solve this problem if you're serious about it. If you're not, that's okay too. But you have to be serious. You have to take control of the situation. You have to have conversations with people. Don't go in and try and sell them. Have a conversation. Find out what their real problem is. Then decide if you can help them. The other thing you need to decide is if you really want to work with that person, because not everybody's your ideal client or prospect. There's some that you're not going to want to deal with. So make that decision. Let them qualify to work with you, not you qualify to work with them. Thanks, Peter.
That is so darn valuable advice, John. Make them qualify to work with you rather than chasing people for the sake of chasing them. Well done, mate. Well done. I mean, if we chase too much, you end up, we end up losing anyway. Okay, you know that is what I do.
They can run faster than we can, and now with the internet, now they just ghost you.
Well done. Thanks, John. Jeffrey, over to you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jeff Veale, the business guru from downtown Manila. I've been in Manila.
Your audio's a little bit off. Can you?
Peter, are you having speaker problems? Is it any better now? Or talk
Not
louder?
yet. No, it's a little bit. We can hear you, but only just, Jeff. I'm just trying to be.
Yeah, I've had tech issues for the last 24 hours.
Well, let's run with what you got. We run with it. Okay.
Anyways, guys, my name's Jeff Veale. I'm the business guru from downtown Manila in the Philippines. Been in Asia for some 13 years and run a digital marketing agency. And basically, we help people to grow their business. We show them the areas where they might be lacking. They might not have the proper skill set. We tell people, work on your business, not in your business. Let us help you. If you're a carpenter, if you're a plumber, you're out under someone's sink, how do you answer your phone call? How do you get new business? You're busy. You're too busy being busy. You haven't got time to grow your business. Let us help you grow your business. Thanks very much, guys.
We can be busy, but busy doing nothing too, right? There's no doubt about that. Well done. Okay, before we get to the topic itself, we've got some apologies from people who are always supportive of us, but they just can't be here. Yvonne Jones, Mark Engstar, Alan Edwards, Gabby. By the way, Gabby can't be here. You know why? Because she's in Thailand, not far from me, for goodness sake. Unbelievable. How
I
about
hope
that?
she's going to visit you.
God bless her. She even just fixed up my LinkedIn profile. Elena Apokova, Ingborg, Vangelis, and Daniel. They've all put in their sincere apologies for today. So let's get back to the topic, everybody. Okay, and we'll take you in the order that you raise your hands. Okay. What's working well for you on social media? What's getting you results right now? Okay. And look at that. Dr. Annika Sorensen beat John to the punch. My goodness gracious me. Annika, over to you.
Yeah, I thought I'd have it over with, then I can listen more carefully to everyone else too. That's a strategy. And well, what's where I get the most new contacts and people to talk to in a good way is by on social media, is by making my posts not scary, but you know, you kind of get to think. And that has made, I get so many more comments and so many more contacts on that, in that way. And then I, of course, always answer the comments if there are any comments anywhere. And also by doing comments on other people's posts and other people's posts comments. So it's a lot of connecting on LinkedIn where I get my new contacts. And not selling, just telling who I am, what I do, not what I do, but who I am, more or less. And the almost funny thing is that I listened to a podcast this morning with my friend Anna, and she had a guest, and he is a world-known, or he has a big business and been doing, and he said the best way to get new people and to come to you and become clients is to have a good heart, a big heart. Don't talk about yourself. Listen to the people you talk to, and after a while they will say, what do you really do? What do you do? And when you tell them, then they say, oh, I have this problem. Could you help me with that? Because now you are in trust. And it was so good to hear from this guy, because he says exactly what Peter says. So that's my way of doing it today. Thank you.
Thank you, Annika. Thank you for the little plug. I appreciate that too. Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next, Peter.
Okay, John.
You know, one of the things that's working well for me, and it's alignable. There's a new group, Luxury Real Estate Agents Network. I've been asked to host this Smart Connect call, and so far, it'll be the first call coming up this week at 3:00 today. There's 30-some people have registered for the event. Now, how many is going to show? That's a different story. but there's 30 people. Also in that group, there's averaging 10 to 12 people a day that are registering to grab the group, to join the group. There's over 2,800 people in it now. So it could be a good spot for contacts. And the reason I'm bringing it up is anybody that's in North America, if as long as you're in Alignable, and the link is actually in the chat, if you want to join, and if you've got something you can offer realtors, by all means, join and connect. Come to the Quick Connect. You'll meet 7 or 8 different businesses in the hour and talk to them. You may be able to help. Thank you.
I gotta find that.
Yeah, just go to the chat, Anita, and it'll say join Alignable, that link, and click on the join Alignable link, and you can connect. And the Smart Connect will be at 3:00 this afternoon Eastern.
And you don't have to be an expert in real estate, do you? You could be, I mean, you could be a wellness person, you could be a doctor, you could be whatever, right?
Yeah, because obviously there's all these people need something. You know, they need other services.
I heard the best contact for a real estate agent may be like a divorce, somebody that's in divorce, because usually when you get divorced, you got to sell your house.
Yeah.
I use realtor agents on every one of my clients, and everyone, because they're my best connection to find out the cost of that house. So
I was waiting for that to happen, Tina. I knew you'd get there. Well done. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. All right. Who's next? Thank you, John.
Okay.
Christine.
Yep. I joined various networking groups. Some of them work, some of them, you know, ordinary. And so you just go to the ones that feel right for you. And the people that run them also, if they like you, I mean, if you are good in their group and you fit their community, they support you back. They support you because I support their posts and things like that, and give value in the sessions. And, you know, I don't pitch to people, don't pitch slap. I offer value, and I think that that's respected. And those people, they will tag you in posts. Now, some people might not like that idea, but I do, because when you're tagged in a post, you're actually, you've got everybody else's different network. So it's actually increasing the possibility of the people that you're going to reach. And so instead of just having a couple of thousand in your network, you've got a couple of thousand in the 20 people that were listed on that post.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thank those people and I appreciate their support. And yeah, I think that's a really good way to you know, gain credibility as well, because you're being recommended, basically.
Good. Well done, Christine. And are you getting traction on social media doing that?
I'm getting people connecting with me, and then gradually getting around to having one-on-ones with not everybody, but the ones that I really want to have one-on-ones with. So it's leading to things, yes.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christine. Okay. Nice to see you, George. Come to you in a minute. George Norgal International. I love this new logo.
Yeah,
Chris,
the logo's good.
Okay, Chris, over to you.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, social media is an interesting beast. I've been posting stuff on LinkedIn for a few years now, my 1 minute micro masterclasses, and they used to attract a fair bit of a fair response, but that's kind of tapered off lately. And I was asking someone who knows a lot more about LinkedIn than I do about why that might be, and he said it's not you, it's the algorithm. The algorithm's changing because Microsoft spent $26 billion buying LinkedIn and wants to get its money back. So it's becoming increasingly, pay for this and pay for that. But the other thing I've been doing is with a couple of colleagues, Angela Heiser and Alan Stevens, putting out a weekly thing called WTF. Now that can mean anything you want it to mean, but ostensibly the name came from the fact that the year started with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this year. So that's we can justify it by saying that. We have these little 8 to 10 minute discussions about stuff, about whether it's social media or courtesy or tattoos and things like that. And it's really quite enjoyable because the three of us have different but complementary communication skills. Mine's body language, Alan reads faces, and Angela's sort of emotional intelligence kind of communicator. And it's quite good fun, and it's very spontaneous. And we just get together and go, okay, what are we going to talk about today? And we pick a topic. Someone's had an experience of being, I don't know, pushed out in a queue or something. So we just talk about that, and it's immensely enjoyable, and it's probably sometimes it's a bit self-indulgent, but we sort of invite people to come into the conversation as well, and it's interesting getting some comments. But check it out if you've got nothing better to do with your time. WTF with myself and Angela Heiser and Alan Stevens, and that's a good, one of the good things about social media, that you can foster and facilitate those kinds of conversations.
Actually, Chris, could you make sure you put a link in there so they can, is it the YouTube replay that you want them to go to or whatever it is?
We post it on LinkedIn and Facebook, and one of the others does Instagram. I don't do Instagram, but I'll get one of the links and pop it in the chat.
Because I've actually seen it on YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's based on YouTube, but I don't understand technical stuff. I just when it comes to my time, I just post it on LinkedIn and Facebook. That'll do.
Yeah, but the thing I like about it is it's because it's getting behind the scenes with the three of you, right? And you're sharing what you truly think about. It could be non-consequential type things, but it's in another way of people getting to know you, understand you, and resonate with you. That's the key. That's the key.
Ideally, yeah, and that's what's good about it. We're not trying to sell anything. We're just having a discussion. The three of us having a discussion, and then we're very happy to invite people into that discussion and comment on it as well. Yeah,
I think it's very clever. Well done, mate. Well done indeed. George Norgal International. Okay, you didn't have the chance to introduce what you do, so how about you spend 1 or 2 minutes talking about what you do before we get on to the topic. So over to you, George.
Yeah, for sure. My apologies. I actually thought the meeting started now, not a half an hour earlier. I don't know what's going on this morning. Anyway, my name is George Norgal from George Norgal International, and I help small and medium-sized businesses work less and make more profit. So cut the fluff, get focused, and actually do things that are going to move your business needle forward. There's many distractions during the day, and finding out what those distractions are and getting rid of them will definitely help your business move forward and get to enjoy your lifestyle instead of sitting in front of this all day.
And getting zoomed out.
And getting zoomed out. Getting lost in the Zoomiverse.
Yeah. Thanks, George. Well done. We'll get back to you about your thoughts on the topic in a minute. Who'd like to go next? What about you, Tony? What's working well for you on social media, my man?
There's a lot to this. Test is the key. But I do have 5 bullet points here. I did a little homework just because I'm converting from a lot of talking head studio videos to raw, real data. 3 or 4 years ago, I was getting millions of views. Now I'm getting hundreds of views, and my mindset has changed because niche marketing seems to be the best way. It's not trying to be holistic to everybody and grab views, or if you could get 100 solid, loyal people following and watching your stuff, and it truly helps them, it's better. So my quick 5 bullet points are that these days the content should be story driven, like raw, real life stories, especially ones that blend with struggles and spiritual, emotional for me, or whatever niche you're in for real estate, or, touch people where they have not been touched before and get deeper into truth. And you see your engagement spike when that starts to happen. People don't like, so number 2 is that on YouTube, long form works between 15 and 20 minutes best. And I've proven that to myself. Shorts are more for like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. And you could get more one-on-one real in long form YouTube videos, which are harder to produce and more time consuming. So you got to evaluate whether that's working to get you what you're looking for. And I noticed that on YouTube, if you serve more and give more value and give more secrets, let a lot more out, the engagement gets better and it's more real. Like it's not as fluffy or fake. On YouTube, you see a lot of AI these days, and humans can't. I'm starting to have trouble telling what AI is and what real humans are. It's really difficult. So eventually, and this is starting to happen, humans want to connect with humans. So the more real you could be, the better that will be. Less AI driven, more connection, because we're not really going to want to connect with robots. We're going to want to stay with humans eventually. So if you practice now and start now, that human connection will always be there.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little long-winded, but I have a couple more. And consistency has always been the best method for me. You have to pick a schedule. If it's once a week on YouTube or every day on TikTok or every day on Facebook, you have to stay with that. You could always add more, but it's hard when you get in a rhythm. Your audiences and people that are following and connecting with you, the minute you disappear, they're gone. It's really hard to re-engage them again if they show up hoping you're going to be there and then you're not. They'll move on. So consistency always wins. And then if you sell your problem first, instead of the solution, I've learned this a lot lately, that people buy from either getting something that makes them feel good or running from pain. And if you stay with the problem and you sell the problem, literally sell the problem on any social media, the message will hit harder. People don't want to know their solution. As a matter of fact, people want to be their own hero. All you need to do is guide them. And your story is the most important thing you could guide them with, because we've all been through the product we're trying to sell, or we wouldn't be connected to it or have, at least in. So for me, my story really works well because I'm helping people become. I made it through the old person I was to the new person I am. So now I'm teaching people how to become their new person, which is really valuable. So if you can stay with your storyline, you can connect better with people. And I know I was long. I have a question. John Allen, could you post your link again? I can't find that link anywhere, so I would appreciate that.
Yep,
And
I'll do that for you.
thank you so much. That's what I got today. Good
Thanks,
to be here.
Tony. By the way, that's the reason why I suggested you look at what Dr. Chris has got with WTF, because that is truly authentic. It is really, it's something that you can't fake, right? And I think it's really very, very clever. So have a look at it, Tony, because forget the topics they're talking about, it's how they're doing it. That's the clever bit. Okay.
I would
And you
actually
might come up with some ideas there.
I would actually like to have a one-on-one with you, Tony, and interview you, because I've got some plans for podcasting that I want to do. So it would promote you, and we can talk about our own things together as well as part of it. It's because I'm writing a book as well. So I just think that would suit what you do, because my book is about mental health issues, trauma and wellness and healing. So,
Good. Okay, I'll leave you two to talk to each other. Well done. Okay.
I'd like to be interviewed too, Christina.
Would you?
I kind of have had, and I'd also like to connect with Tony because, my life has been difficult, living with chronic pain, the missing myelin tissue, and a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to share my story because it's a problem, it's.
No, I think it's good to share it, because people then know that they're not alone, that there are other people, and that you've got a normal life and that you're doing stuff. You're not letting it define you. You're not letting it hold you back. So I think
I can't. I've got 2 beautiful daughters and I can't do that.
Yeah, well, so
But
you're
it's been a
responsible,
long
and people
fight,
need to hear that message. People need to hear your message. So I'd love to interview you.
And
I'll
I
be in
tried to
touch.
LinkedIn Tony and I couldn't. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Tony.
Try private message in like Facebook or something would be best for me, or even Instagram.
Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, Facebook's the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Christine. Thanks, Anita. And thank you, Tony. All right. Tina, what about you?
So there's lots of stuff for me that works. I mean, you've mentioned a lot of them. I like Alignable. I struggle with the platform in the fact that it doesn't work like LinkedIn and Facebook is easy. But the people I meet on Alignable are more authentic people than those that I meet on LinkedIn. So getting referral partners, because 99% of the clients that come to me are referred to me. The social media, doing my videos are one of the things that's created the most change for me. I've got people that are asking questions from all over the world that see those videos and have a question or want to know more. So I'm engaging that way. The other things that are working is making sure that my posts that go on LinkedIn those are usually longer, and the posts that go on Facebook are more friendly, more to my friends. And the posts that go on Alignable are much shorter and just to the point, because once you know how each of the platforms work, then you know what to do. I can tell you the platform of TikTok is way better for me than Instagram. Although I put the same message on Instagram, it takes way longer for me to get engagement on Instagram than it ever has on any of the other platforms. It just seems to be one of the worst of the group of platforms that I work with. So those are the things that work with me. I also take and I create my posts in advance. So all I have to do is copy and paste so that it's done and I don't have to worry about what I'm getting ready to do today.
Thank you, Tina. Well done. Any questions about Tina? She there, ready to give you any answers you want? Okay, George, what about you, my man? What's working well for you on social media, my man?
That's a great question. Thanks, Peter. I would have to say right now, just being myself, I've been finding works really well. And writing posts. I haven't done videos yet. I've been working on the video part of it. But creating posts that actually gets the audience engaged or feeling like they're part of your business and or your life or whatever it happens to be. I created 2 posts that got really amazing traction. One was the separation of my wife and I because I was working too much. Wasn't the only reason. And the creation of my logo. And, without the help from the people who actually commented on it, the logo that I have now wouldn't exist, which I'm very happy with it because it has all the elements that it looks professional, but also has special meanings to it. The lettering being italic moving forward, and then the designer actually put an arrow between the N and the I, so people are going to move up. I also found that people aren't looking for the solution. They're looking for the lifestyle that they want. So focusing on the lifestyle, like everybody wants to work less and make more money. That's a given. But it's not the money they're really interested, because if feathers were the commodity that was traded, everybody would want feathers or rocks or whatever it is. So it really doesn't matter what the actual commodity is. People just want a lifestyle. They want to be able to go to the beach. They want to spend time with family. They want to do whatever. Everybody has a different version of what's great. But I do know one thing: not everybody. There's not very many people that I know that just want to sit in front of a computer screen and work all day. It's boring as fuck. Excuse my language, but it is. It's lonely, and they want a lifestyle. They want the lifestyle that they want. And, you know, we're creating posts where they can actually have that lifestyle, whatever that looks like, helps, because, you know, people reach out. It's like, what the hell are you doing that I'm not?
What was clever, George, about your logo posts was the fact that you got people engaged to genuinely want to help you. And at the same time, they built a resonance with you. Right? That was really clever. So you got what you wanted in many ways. You got advice and thoughts about logo, but you also got resonance with people. And I think that was very cleverly done. So well done, mate. Well done indeed. That's a message for a lot of people. Okay. People genuinely like to help you. They really do genuinely like to help you.
They do.
Well done. Thank you, George. Jeff, what about you? What's working well for you on social media?
Turn my sound on would help. There's no sound. How's the sound now? Any better? I've been working on it.
No.
Not much better.
I'm leaning forward because my old ears can't hear too well.
Guys, running an agency, I've got half a dozen different ways that can get you new clients and make things happen on social media. And we're testing and measuring all the time. One of the big ones that doubled my business 5 months ago, I started doing a podcast series. Now, the beauty about doing a podcast series, you're interviewing people all over the world who are experts in their field. So not only are you learning from them, you're seen to be an authority because you know all these people all over the world. But the unique thing about it is you get to do a pre-chat to these people. They ask you what you do. You get a chance to pitch what you do and tell them what you do. And they have an aha moment. And many of those people that I interview actually turn into clients. So, and a podcast is so darn easy to do. It's not difficult. And then once it's done, you polish it all up. You do what you promise. You promote them all over social media, and they love you for it. And you get referrals. I could go on and on about podcasts. Bloody awesome, guys. The other one I put in the chat for you is we started using this 2 weeks ago. The first 2 weeks we signed up 4 new clients, right, from this simple thing. We reached out to people on their birthdays, and what was happening, it took me a long while to wake up. I'd reach out and say, hello, happy birthday, John Allen. And John Allen would say, thank you. And we pretty much left it there. We were just trying to be top of mind. Then I put into ChatGPT, hang on, that's not good enough. What should we say after thank you? So what did I do? Thanks for the thank you. Would you like to come on our podcast? So we took it to another level. So in other words, engage them, guys. It's all about, as Peter goes on about all the time, it's all about conversations. You know, the more conversation you have, the better. And our last one, which none of you here are using, I believe, I've told you so many times, you can have a free trial for 14 days and prove the system. It's a branded QR code. What it is, it's a link. Every time you do a post, whether you like it or not, there should be a call to action. I see so many people post. So what? Have a call to action. So if you haven't got a call to action, why are you posting? So that's my rant for the day, guys. I hope you can hear some of it.
Thank you, Jeff. One of the key points is, I mean, I don't think we should get hung up about this problem with AI, because I mean, work with it. It's here to stay, whether you like it or not. Okay, it's here to stay. And I hear what you were saying, Tony, about authenticity. I appreciate where you're coming from, but the key point is this: if you make people feel special, if you give them a memorable moment, a memorable experience, that is something that they will never, ever forget. And I can tell you right now, it is probably the most powerful way of building a potential client. There's no doubt about that. It really works every single time. Making people feel special. You can't substitute for that. You can't do it. We are humans, right? We love being felt that we're listened to. We love being felt that we're understood. And that is something that is truly very special. Anita, do you want to say any more about your thoughts on social media?
Me?
Hmm.
Yes, I feel like, remaining consistent, in our posts and with our message to be authentic, and I just kind of thought about, talking about our problem. I think if if I handle that with some humor about, what is it to live the life of chronic pain, and, ask ChatGPT, to make some jokes, because I recently did that with somebody and I made this dog joke, and it was, and it took, my mind to be able to plug things into AI and to get things, exactly like I wanted it, and AI is a tool. It's not replacing us. It is giving us a tool to think, and I live with chronic pain, and sometimes it is hard to think, my mind is like blank. So I have conversations quite often with AI, and it's here to stay, and it's a tool for us to use.
Thank you, Anita. Anyone got a final thought before we finish? Because our time's up in about 5 minutes.
Actually,
Any other thought?
yes, something happened very recently, literally a minute ago. I received a note from someone. I'll try and keep this very brief. In 1980-ish, I was in London, and a friend of mine from Brisbane, which is where I live now, her name is Peter Lilly, Petalilly, and she said to me, she said, "Oh, Chris, you should study mime because you've got the body for it." I had a slightly different body then. Um, and um, and anyway, so I did, and it changed my life basically. But she posted something on her website about a song that she wrote and recorded in about 1981 called "I'm a Time Bomb." And one of the people who produced the song was a bloke called Andy Arthurs. Professor Andy Arthurs, was one of the supervisors of my doctoral thesis in 20 whatever it was, 2010, 2009. And it's just the way, the opposite sides of the world, people who didn't know each other, just coming together, and social media facilitates that kind of stuff. It facilitates those kind of connections that you would never, ever come across if it wasn't for social media, the Facebooks of the world and the LinkedIns or whatever. So it can be a very, very useful thing. And yeah, it can be scary, it can be invasive, it can be intrusive, but when things like that happen, it's really quite remarkable.
Thank you, Chris. And by the way, you just mentioned the word scary. Let me come back to you, Dr. Annika. You said when you were posting, you don't focus on scary, but you mentioned that word. Can you tell me why you said that?
No, it's provocative was the word that I was
Being
seeking.
provocative.
Yeah,
Provocative.
where you kind of tell them the truth that they don't want to hear. Kind of. In a nice way.
But you make it very clear what it is, right?
Yeah, make it very clear what it is, and that you start to think, okay, yes, that's how it is. Really, that's really how it is.
Right.
But people don't they try to not see that because it might hurt.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a, but that's a good
I like
message.
I like to stir the pot a little bit because people believe a whole lot of garbage about, if you get old, you get sick, or they don't go together, and people believe these stereotypes, and there's a whole bunch of different ones that they believe. And if you hit them like with the truth straight up, it makes them think, even if they don't want to hear it, you can't unhear it. It goes around their head, right?
Mm.
And I'd like to drop those kind of seeds. Then I can pick it up later on with a follow-up of some sort. So it's not the right then and there thing that happens. It happens over a period of time. These things come back to just spin round in your head. She said that. What does she mean by that? Oh, yeah, And so it works.
Yeah, I think most of what we say in this kind of way is seeds that we are giving to
Well, that's
people
right.
to start thinking,
That's
and
right.
they hear what they want to hear or can hear. So sometimes you say things and they haven't heard a thing, even though it was meant for them.
Yeah, but over time, it's like they start to connect the dots. So it's not. So that's why we do these. Yeah, no, it does. It does. A little bit here, a little bit there. Water that thought, and then add a little bit more to that. And then one day they're going, oh yeah, I get it now. So no, it's little subtle things,
So the
over a
message you're
period of
really
time.
saying, Annika and Christine, is don't be afraid to tell them what the real issue is.
I don't think you should be afraid. I think you should be able to say that. This is the way it is.
Right.
Bang, sledgehammer.
Yeah.
It's much better to say how it is and
Yeah.
do it in a nice way and be kind and all that around it if you see that they
Well,
understand. So it's
I don't even agree with that you have to say it in a nice way all the time. If you just say it straight, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think sometimes some things need to be said that way because everybody's going, oh, well, if you just do this, and
No,
everyone's
I
trying to
don't.
be,
I don't.
you know what I mean?
I don't mean in a way like that. I mean
Okay.
that you can always. I am trying to always say things in a nice way so that people feel that I actually see them and hear them.
Let's put
And
it this way.
and
say
that's
it,
not.
say it as it is, but align with your personality and your values. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it. There are different
That's true.
times and different ways you can say things, and yeah, there's a time to say it straight. There's a time to be a bit more tactful, and there's a time to skirt around it, and or to add little bits around it to build it. So think of how your post is going to go, and what effect each time you post is going to have on that person, or on your market.
Let me recommend to just not the people here, but also those who are watching the replay, to go and watch what Tony does and watch what Tina does on their videos, because they really say it as it is. There's no doubt about it, right? And it's them coming across really loud and clear. And that's the message I'm hoping that people on this replay are what you're getting. If you want to be successful on social media, be darn real. That's the point of it. Okay. That's the point. And they're all saying that in a different way. So I thank you. I thank you for making that point very clear. Anyone got a final point before we go? We've got 1 minute left.
We are who we are.
You are.
You are who you are. You're right.
One of the things I'd like to add, Peter, is when you got your niche, there's 4 levels going up that are your actual capital. You got those on the bottom that are bleeding. They're the ones that are just starting out, no money or whatever. The next group up, they're the ones that their business was going good or whatever, and for whatever reason, they're slipping and going backwards. So, and then the third group up is the ones that are doing okay, things are working, they could be better. The top group is the leaders. The way you talk to those 4 groups is entirely different. You can use the same message, but the way you talk to each one of those groups is entirely different. So when you're looking at your niche, take a look at which one of those 4 groups you're talking to. That's where you're going to make your money, and also determine how hard you have to work to make it.
Well said.
Let me ask you.
It's interesting.
You're basically saying know your audience.
Yep.
And not just know them, talk with them, not at them.
Thank you, John Allen. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, John. Save the chat, everybody. Thanks again also for your wonderful contributions today. Love you all, appreciate you all, and I'll get this done as soon as I can in terms of the replay. Cheers for now.
See you later.
Bye
Bye-bye.
for now.
Right.